Dokely. Hello, I'm here once again with a legend of reggae music, Mr. Dennis Bovell.
Hi.
Thank you for letting us interview you.
My pleasure.
So you're here on the legendary night, legendary Joe Strummer's night. How did you meet Mr. Strummer?
Well, we were in the same business, in the days when Matumbi was pretty much the new British phenomenon. You know, we were the new young bloods of Britain kind of slinging reggae. When a time when most bands were either a soul band or a pop band, and reggae was a kind of a new thing, and Matumbi was helping to bring it to the fore. And the Clash were very interested in reggae, and we had, common friends, and in fact, Joe would come and see Matumbi play at Hammersmith Palais on a couple of occasions, And then Matumbi started to tour with Ian Drury. And of course, Ian Drury and the Clash were great friends, And then I started to produce the Slits. And the Slits and the Clash were great friends, So our paths kind of, entwined.
Yeah, you all linked together in some
Yeah.
way. It's a small world.
You know how it is.
So what was reggae music like in that time when it was fresh and new? How did you find it?
Well, it was the most exciting thing ever to happen. I was thinking, at the time I, just about 19 years old and kind of just having left school and trying to, look for an occupation, as it were, and deciding to be a musician, That was exciting enough. Thank you, man. That was so exciting, and meeting other musicians, For instance, I used to come to Ladbroke Grove and play my sound system, Sufferers Hi-Fi, in All Saints Road in the Metro, about the time when Bob Marley was recording in Basing Street. In fact, I worked in Basing Street for Island Records on several occasions doing, mixes for groups like Inner Circle and stuff like that,
So you got around basically.
Yeah.
And you got to meet some of the great up-and-coming acts.
Absolutely. I mean, Don Lett's a great friend of mine who's a great friend of The Clash, Mick Jones, we hung out quite a lot at the 100 Club in Oxford Street with John Lydon and people like that, when Matumbi headlined the first reggae night at the 100 Club.
Okay. So that must have been an achievement.
Yeah, and it was a while ago too.
So I take it that this great music influenced a lot of these young punk bands.
Yeah.
What is it about reggae music that influenced them?
I don't know. I think it's the spirit of reggae. It's vibrance, right? Its tendency to be militant. Its tendency to kind of speak the truth, and to seek knowledge, right? I mean, at the time in the 77 or 78, I think it was, that I had recorded my first solo record, and it was a song called Raindrops. And someone in the audience tonight shouted, "Raindrops, Raindrops," and I was like, wow, you remember that song? And in fact, the pop group whose first album, Why, I produced it, they had heard that record, and they were so keen on that record that they had to have the person who made that record produce their first album, and that person was me.
Luckily for you.
Yeah, and them.
Yes, indeed. Because I'm sure. So what are the other bands that you've produced for over the time?
Well, I did the Slits' first album, Cut, and I worked with the Modettes, and Amazulu, up to Bananarama, Viola Wills, and I did some Boomtown Rats remixes too, and some David Essex, and did some Marvin Gaye,
How did you find Marvin Gaye?
Oh, he was a gas. He was a scream. I mean, Marvin was larger than life.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Dennis Bovell.
Joe said to me, I bet you can do that every night on stage. So I did. Just recently, good evening. Just recently, from our Matumbi stable, we lost our singer, Bevin Fagan, in April. And I know that he and Joe are here right now. And wherever they are, you guys, show yourselves. And I know that Matumbi recorded a song, a Dylan song, called The Man in Me. And the Clash also did that, so I know that those guys are going to be there singing along right now. Check this. Just